Believing there's just one optimal day a week to save on flights, and that day is Tuesday, is the stuff of legends. And like all good legends, there is some truth to it, but it's not the full story. I'm Sally French, a travel expert at NerdWallet, and I'm here to tell you the story behind two critical travel dates: the best day to book a flight, as well as the best day to actually fly. Now let's start by talking about the best day to book a flight. Flight prices change constantly and at all hours of the day, adjusting to real-time demand. Given that, don't fixate on myths like having to wait for a Tuesday to actually book your airfare. So then which day should you actually book? I recommend that you focus on how far in advance you book rather than the actual weekday or even the time of day. NerdWallet recommends booking 1 to 3 months in advance for domestic flights and 2 to 8 months out if you're flying internationally. Now there is bad news for procrastinators. Last-minute flight deals just aren't super common, as people booking last minute are generally booking because they have to get somewhere and they can't afford to be flexible with their schedule. Airlines take advantage of this by raising prices the closer you get to departure. But what about those folks out there who are hesitant to book because they suspect that airfares might drop later on, because in fact they often do? Here's my nerdy tip. Most major airlines have adopted more flexible change and cancellation policies ever since the COVID-19 pandemic. Now these policies vary by airline, but if policies are flexible, then book that flight now. Then if you find a better deal, you can cancel your flight and rebook to get the cheaper price. Pay attention to limitations, such as that you only get the difference as a flight credit rather than a cash refund. And if you do get a travel voucher, understand that many airlines have expiration dates on those. But especially with airlines like Southwest, this hack can work well. On Southwest, even fares in the lowest fare class can be changed or canceled with no fee as a Southwest credit that never expires. Higher fare classes refund your original form of payment, which might even be more preferable. Okay, now let's talk about the actual best day of the week to fly. NerdWallet analyzed data collected by Hopper to find the best days to fly. For domestic flights, the cheapest days to fly are midweek, generally Tuesday or Wednesday. NerdWallet found that economy airfares on Tuesdays are about 15% lower than peak prices on Sundays. Meanwhile, the most expensive days to fly are, as I just said, Sunday and also Friday. Presumably, people are either jetting off or returning home for vacation planned around their standard Monday through Friday work week. Personally, I love flying home on Saturdays instead of Sunday anyway. Sunday is like my vacation from vacation, so I can do laundry and meal prep for the work week ahead. Now here are a few more cheap flight tips. First, the best way to find deals is by letting the computer do the work for you. Websites like Google Flights, Hopper, Skyscanner, or Kayak allow you to set price alerts out of your specified airport. Then they'll send you an email when they see the price drop. Another key with cheap travel is just flexibility. Adjusting your trip by a few days can save hundreds. Sometimes flying out of a nearby airport can also translate to big savings. If you're set on a specific destination, Google Flights makes it easy to check nearby airports. Its calendar views also show lower prices on nearby dates. And finally, book on the right credit card, not just for the points, but for other underrated benefits. I'm talking about things like travel insurance, which can kick in on flights that are delayed or canceled, assuming you paid for the airfare on that credit card. Now, NerdWallet writers like me spend their entire days poring over the terms and conditions of credit cards to find the ones that are actually useful, and we've laid them all out for you on nerdwallet.com. In short, there's no single best day to book, and not even a best day to fly. Cities like Vegas that appeal broadly to weekend travelers might even see higher fluctuations on Fridays and Sundays. If there's a big conference or festival in town, you can also expect increased airfares. Holidays also throw a huge wrench in cheap flight logic. Given that, don't fixate too much on what day you click checkout on your computer. What's more important is your flexibility. Of course, paying for it on a good credit card is critical too. Now, I want to know, what's your best advice for scoring cheap flights? Leave a comment, and if you found this video helpful, please do like and subscribe.